Hello, fellow nerds. Welcome to Nerd Doom, where we bring in a bunch of explosion worth of information about video games, anime, any type of nerd culture, you name it.
All the stuff we care about.
today, today, this is Mike Brown joining in with Jeff here.
Hi.
We're gonna focus more on video gaming since E3 just came out this past weekend. I think it was the 12th, and on way to that Monday, we decided we wanted to talk about a couple things we thought was pretty cool that coming out on E3, and maybe some things we didn't really give it, not necessarily we didn't care about. I guess for me it wasn't exactly a bad E3. It was just a lot of like, kind of situation. But I figured all of those things should be pretty important. So starting off, one thing is probably the first thing I actually got to watch was the Xbox briefing. That was that Sunday. Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah, it was on
Sunday. Sunday. Xbox briefing. Big thing about that. The Project Scorpio is now named the Xbox One X. Yeah, beautiful titles. Like just love how they do titling. So this is Xbox's new, like, I wouldn't say big like console. It's like sort of like an upgrade from everything else. If anything, this feels a lot like what they did with the original Xbox and the Xbox going to the 360, where they kind of just like, oh man, like the Xbox One didn't exactly do as well. There's some things they still want to fix. So they're just like, here is the end all be all. This might be the thing that makes people want to buy Xboxes altogether. Only difference is PS4 doesn't suck. There's a lot that go around there. There's a lot of native 4K kind of situations with all Xbox One games. There's the cool big thing that I liked, that like pretty much anything that's not exactly not exactly 4K. There's a lot of super upscaling. There's a lot of processing power. The RAM is ridiculously fast. And it seems really cool. I really like the design too. It's like a nice kind of simple box kind of situation, very similar to the Xbox One S, but
very
like
minimalistic.
It's extremely minimalistic. I really like it. It feels a lot. It looks a lot like a PS2. Honestly and truly, it looks a lot like a PS2. The only my kind of gripe with it is the price. It's $500, $499,
$500, yeah,
or $450. I think it's $450 in Europe. €450. That's kind of the turnoff for me, because it's not exactly. I think it's really awesome. I think it is considered the most powerful console as of yet, according to Xbox.
Yep.
But I don't know if any of that was cool enough to me to even care. Like,
it's basically you're paying for a $500 upgraded Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
And I'm just not sure if I really care enough about this push that they're trying to say, like, oh, 4K. I'm like, they're still expensive. 4K TVs are still expensive.
Yeah, it hasn't become standard.
I just bought a 4K TV. It was like $600-$700 just for that. I mean, it's not that important. Like,
we're not there yet.
And I haven't gotten to the point where 4K has become so much more of a big situation, like, kind of thing. Like, yeah, there's sometimes I can do certain things, but in terms of gaming, doesn't really mean anything to me.
Because there's not a lot of game developers that are released. Oh yeah, we'll do this in 4K stand.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really. It was okay, and then it was kind of weird how they were going super technical with it, like talking about six teraflops, blah 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 blah. I'm like, cool, I guess.
All the cores.
I mean, it's not something I really care about, but sure, whatever. But other than that. After that, they kind of went straight into like just nothing but game trailers, and there was a kind of a bit that they were going through. They were talking about Crackdown. They went through Crackdown 3, which you learned you get to play as Terry Crews with the big trailer and stuff, which sounds interesting. That's unfortunately, I think, one of the few of the exclusives that they had that was actually that was sort of interesting to come out. There wasn't anything that was a big bang. You had Forza coming, new Forza coming out, which they had to do their weird thing where they come out with the car at the place and then show you the game. It's just like, I don't think we need to know how realistic the cars are anymore.
I think they've arrived now.
We have gotten to that point years ago. Okay, like, this isn't Gran Turismo when it was first came out and everyone was freaking the hell out like how realistic the gameplay is. You have Sea of Thieves, the pirate game that's exclusive. I think it's exclusive to Xbox. It didn't have much different stuff to show from before, except for like some of the things you could do. Maybe I really hope so. Like there was a part where like the player was like shot out of a cannon into the other ship, and that was really cool. Yeah, I thought that was really awesome. I mean, it'd be interesting, but I'm just sick of fucking pirates.
Well, yeah.
Pirates and zombies has kind of been like my two things I've been really annoyed
The
about.
tropes that have, become very popular.
Yeah, but like
past decade.
it's one of those situations I have a hard time like ever like wanting to get into it, just because there's not many things to do with that. Like it's either like, oh no, there's a bunch of zombies, and because the zombies aren't really that much of a fight, more of the fight is between the humans themselves.
Well, we
whatever.
can make
okay.
pirate zombie game.
So, are you talking about Pirates of the Caribbean? Because if you are, fuck you.
The original, of course. And
that's still technically pirates and zombies, but whatever.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Going back to the roots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they also announced State of Decay 2. Speaking of zombies, which I like the first one, but I don't know if I really care about having a second one. And then obviously that was it was so funny. We were just talking about the 4K stuff, and they were announcing re-releasing Minecraft to be in 4K.
Because you want to see blocky blocks
reasons.
in 4K.
The only thing we were just scrolling down through this. The only thing I did really like that they were talking about was Deep Silver's Metro Exodus.
Oh yeah.
Love the Metro series. Those games are amazing. I love it when they re-released them for the current consoles. They were great. Apparently, this one's going to come out straight up in 4K, which is really cool. Really excited. Another thing that we don't see on the list that I was really, really excited about that had on the fighting. It was a fighting game in Xbox. Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Super excited.
That looks good. Like it's
done in collaboration Namco Bandai and Arc Systems, who they're the developer of Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue kind of situation.
So
it's
visually
yes, and it has the same. I can tell it has the same visualness of like 3D within a 2D world kind of situation. It's 2D fighting, but they're really 3D models, much like how it is in Guilty Gear Xrd, sorry, which is an amazing game, and I love the gameplay. This looks really good. I haven't been excited for a Dragon Ball fighting game in a long time.
Oh yes.
As much as I like the Xenoverse series, I've kind of been turned off about the whole 3D fighting kind of situation.
Yeah, they've overdone it.
Like I feel like it was overdone. I never really cared for it in the original. I always enjoyed the first original 3 Budokai series. I thought they were great, even though it was just punchy, touch. So that was it. I'm super excited about that. I think that's going to be great. I can't wait to see how it's going to be. Going next, there's the PlayStation conference, which that was even more of a meh to me.
Yeah.
They kind of went through the whole time just showing off games. Like it was like, hey, this is all that matters. Here's a game. You had, I think the first one I saw was Uncharted Lost Legacy, which would be a standalone side story from the Uncharted series, focusing. Oh God, I can't remember the second person's name, but Chloe. One of them was Chloe, who is a pretty main character, thief and friend of and former lover of Nathan in the second of the Uncharted series, and briefly in the third. Really awesome. Looks really awesome. Really hope it's gonna be great. Really cool voice acting in those. I can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. I think the second one was Nadine. It's gonna go with the mercenary person that you see in the fourth of that series. That looks exciting. There was let's see, God of War. There was a big trailer of that. It looked really great.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
They showed off some of the bigger things that you can do in there, like the nice way they were doing the fighting. The fighting looks very very stoic. Compared to like the
rage and
the rage and
smash the shit out of
things,
everything.
like old school stuff. It seems a little bit more died down and more.
Like you're gonna need to think a little bit more with this one.
It seems like you're gonna have to play a little bit special with it. There's still big monsters that you get to fight.
I wish they would have showed more of the
scale.
puzzling in their trailer, though, because God of War's had a bunch of puzzles.
I wonder if that's even going to be the case. I wonder if they're going to.
know with this one.
I kind of feel like, based on what they've seen, I think they're going to go a little bit more focused on the narrative.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Who knows?
I'm so excited about it.
I'm excited.
I
can't
God
wait
since day one. So.
Yeah, I mean, I got into the point where I played almost all of them, and so at this point, I'm gonna just play it. We have some of this on the list is not even like stuff that's actually been shown. We have Detroit Become Human. Excuse me. That is the next game in David Cage under Quantum Dreams new game. Same people who did Fahrenheit. AKA Indigo Prophecy, depending if you played on PlayStation or Xbox. I was on Xbox. And then also did Heavy Rain. That's probably the most infamous, and Beyond Two Souls, which was yeah, it wasn't great. This one looks great. Looks like your choices are way more weighted in some of the stuff, like in terms of like what is happening, because there was big changes that like based on the choices and the gameplay they put in the game was actual like stuff that was actually going to happen in the game. So I really enjoyed how they actually have real things that can actually happen and some of that stuff, and it kind of really shows like how much of a how much you can actually do within the world, which I think is gonna be exciting. We'll see how it goes from there. I always like playing their games, even though David Cage has a really weird thing with it. I wonder how the QTs is gonna be, quick time events. Because that's also a big thing that happens all flipping time.
Yeah, you thought you were safe from them. There's
I just hope I'm not screaming Jason for hours or doing the weird kiss doing the weird kiss thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That was great. Good times. Good times.
That was also, we were talking about this earlier, but they're showing more about Marvel's Capcom Infinite.
Yep.
Showed more of the cast in it, even though it was already leaked earlier. Apparently, the whole roster. Already confirmed. There's no X-Men stories. They're falling a little bit closer to the sort of the cinematic series, but not really kind of situation.
Like their version of it.
Their version of it. I would say it's showing more of like versus where the comics are, if anything.
Yeah.
Currently, right now, looks great. I always love Marvel's Capcom. I'll play it. I'll probably buy it. It's not gonna change anything for me.
You're gonna get it.
I got my Fire Stick for reasons that nature. Right. So it's not like I'm not gonna get it. It's just more so I have a really big issue with the way the faces look. Like really hated looking at Dante and Chun-Li. Like they look, like all of them look pretty awful. Like I was just like, what the hell did they do? I hope that like post development they'll do some things to change it. Maybe they'll just hear, well, this is Capcom, so man, Capcom loves listening to his fans.
They have a suggestion box especially for people
just to burn.
It keeps them warm during the winter.
Oh no, right? Yeah, we'll see how it is. Right now, the story demo's out right now on the PS4, so I'll probably play it out. I haven't done it yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's all the big bad in that. It's like a fusion between Sigma and
Ultron. Yes, that is how it works. So the two of some of the worst villains in respective universes are merged together.
In the Mega Man X series, I hated that bastard.
And the problem I get out of that is the fact that Sigma shows up makes me just want another Mega Man X game.
Yeah, it's
like
been long
that's
enough,
what I really
Capcom.
want. Is I don't really want. That's one of those situations where I'm just like, please stop giving me shit about Mega Man, like all this shit, and don't give me another Mega Man game. Like, just give me a Mega Man. Give me like a new Mega Man X game, or give me a new. What I really want is a Mega Man Legends game. I think that's what I'd rather have. But
we're still waiting on Mega Man Legends 3, which got canceled so long ago.
Yeah, that's like waiting on a Half-Life 3. So
yeah, it's always the 3s that we're waiting on.
Yeah, I don't know. Forever. I wonder why. After that, probably the most important, and there was Days Gone. That also was out. That's supposed to be something interesting. I don't know. It looks good, but it just feels very like Uncharted mixed with Last of Us in terms of like gameplay. I don't know how it's gonna be. We'll see.
I mean, it could be good or it could be.
It's just like I was so excited for it, and then I saw zombies, and I was like, Bros.
They're going that way again.
Yay! But most exciting out of all of that in the PlayStation was Spider-Man.
Yes.
That will look so good. Oh, excuse me, Marvel Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So we've learned from here that this will have nothing to do with the cinematic universe. It has a little bit to do with the comic as well. Apparently, it's gonna be its own universe. So there's some big things about it. It's within its own place, which I think is very smart.
That's the way to do video games.
It's so great that they're not doing a movie tie-in because they haven't had a good movie. They haven't had a good Spider-Man game since Spider-Man 2.
2.
Honestly,
that was
truly.
the only one that
I try every time to like defend Shattered Dimensions because I really like
Shattered Dimensions was good.
I really liked it. I really liked some of the parts in it, but like it's just
as a whole, it felt just incomplete.
The mechanics was it was just badly written. Like it just really wasn't. It was so great because they made a new like type of Spider-Man I really liked. I really liked the Noir character.
Oh, Noir was great. I just
felt
wish
like
they would have done a Noir game.
Oh man, I
that.
thought that was more interesting.
Do like a freaking 20s just freaking.
Oh man, look, this was the only parts I wanted to play, especially since they ruined 2099 for me. I was like, you ruined Miguel.
I was disappointed with that.
Really, because I love 2099. It's one of my favorites. I still have #1 issue of that comic book, so it's one of my favorites. But yeah, Spider-Man was looking great. It feels very Arkham in terms of the fighting style, which I'll take it.
Freeform fighting.
I'll definitely take that. There was a lot of good talk. There was a lot of cool like Easter eggs in the trailer, including a couple billboards that could have the Black Cat in it. And there was another one that had Osborn in it, so it could be any of the goblins, either Hobgoblin or Green Goblin, depends.
You already know Fisk is a part of it.
Yeah, Fisk. We know that Fisk is a part of it, and probably a main bad guy. Either a main bad guy or
an ally.
Maybe either he's in game or he's a different type of situation. It'd be cool either way.
Yeah.
It was all that. There was a couple really cool parts like that had QTEs. That was like him just running through and ruining a building with a crane, which was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool how he did.
I thought all of it looked great. I don't know, it was all great. You have all these really cool all these really cool parts that oh man, like you could do like traps and like cool little things and like
different
quick like oh shit you found me. The way the spider sense works. It looks really, really cool.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Super excited.
And also the weird Easter egg at the end with Miles Morales being there at the end. That was really interesting. So I wonder how they're going to take that. My hopes is that we have Ultimate and Marvel Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man being the same situation.
Do this because it's their own universe technically.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I would really love to see that. Maybe even see Miles Morales be a playable character. That'd be awesome.
That'd be great.
That's hoping a lot. So
and
that was
just a skin, just an actual character.
Yeah, for that was PlayStation. Really sad we didn't get to see anything about Red Dead or Last of Us or Death Stranding. Even though we already knew that was happening, they said all three of them said they were going to be there.
Already
for
announced,
it.
But just didn't
I mean, and then Square Enix barely had anything. They did finally show like new footage on Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
They did. That was cool.
That was great. It felt like it was actually coming. Still don't see a flippin' release date. That's the problem.
1-3 that actually might happen.
Yeah, I mean, I will like someone was like really it was like, yeah, they show real stuff. I was like, okay, when they show me a release date, that's when I get really excited.
Yep.
I did get really excited for the trailer. It looked like there was a lot of cool things you could do in it, but I'm just like, I need a release date. I'm just give me a
year,
release date.
At least a year. You don't even have to say what season. Just give me a year.
Just give me a release date. That was just like, and we were just talking about. I have the same complaint about the next one we're going to talk about, Nintendo, when they came out. Pretty solid. Pretty good stuff on the board. Super Mario Odyssey, probably the best thing that came out of that. I didn't expect it to be any good until I watched it. And I was like, okay, I might actually want to buy a Switch for this.
It does look good.
Like this was almost worth me buying a Switch for because it looks so fun.
I'm sorry,
but I was like,
hate Mario with a passion.
I understand.
I'm just like,
no, I know. We both had that issue where we hate Nintendo because they thrive on the. They thrive
because they whore out Mario.
Yeah,
basically.
they thrive on the nostalgia level, and I don't care for it either. I really don't care for the rehashed like the mascot after mascot after mascot. I'm not into it at all.
Mm-mm.
I say this, and I'm a huge Sonic fan.
Same.
And so when I saw Mario Odyssey, I was just kind of like,
another
whatever,
Mario
I guess,
game.
like whatever. But this was cool. Like it had a really cool, different type of mechanic in it, and it had really cool ideas to come around it. Like the idea of basically you turning into anything because of your hat was just hilarious. His name's Cappy, which is a genius name
Yep.
for the type of game it is. This ghost hat that like just takes over and just kind of like, oh, let's do this kind of thing. And like the music sounded awesome. That was like the cool thing I loved about this nice like jazzy tune swing time like jazz song that I really liked. The thing showcasing a lot of things that happen, like the jumping and when you're turning into different like stuff, like many of the enemies that you go through, like Koopas and Kappas and all that stuff. And turning into T-Rex, most important part. Turning into T-Rex. That looks really great.
Dreams come true.
We did get the announcement of the fact that there will be a Pokemon RPG that's coming to the coming to Switch console. Very, 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 very excited.
Yeah.
Finally, we get an RPG for Pokemon on an actual console. Yes. Can't wait because I've been waiting for a while, and I have such a hard time finishing any of my Pokemon RPGs, and I have almost all of them from the 3DS. And so it's just kind of like, give me something.
Yep.
There's that. They announced
Metroid Prime 4.
Metroid Prime 4, which they announced that it's in development. They didn't announce that anything happening.
It's in development though. It's there.
But it's but the fact that it's even
existing.
But the fact is it's existent. I love Metroid Prime with a passion.
Yes.
I love that game so much. It is the coolest idea. I never thought I would like being Samus in a first person mode until I played Metroid Prime, and I just like I'm fucking sold. This is amazing. I loved it. One of my favorites. Can't wait to see it. It's currently in development, so we don't know. We don't have anything about it. Maybe we'll see it next year. Maybe we'll see more stuff next year. Maybe next A3. I'm hoping.
Yep.
They announced new DLC for Breath of the Wild. Don't have a Switch. Never played it. People really love it. It's basically like
looks good.
People told me like the mechanics felt a lot like Dark Souls.
Really?
Which is really interesting. Like the fighting mechanics a little bit.
Huh.
They were saying that like there's parts in there where you have to be really like careful in what you do and be very mindful of what you have and stuff of that nature, which I thought was really cool. It's another game where I can understand why people like bought the Switch specifically for that game.
Yeah.
I need more games. It's just I need more games.
Yeah, need more exclusives in that too. Yeah.
This wasn't announced. I mean, it's on this list, but this wasn't announced during Nintendo's. It was announced during Ubisoft's conference, which we'll get to soon. Which was Mario and Rabbids.
The Rabbids.
Mario and Rabbids, which I don't understand why. It's like basically like an XCOM like Rabbids game with Mario characters in it.
It's because Mario's a whore.
I don't. Why? Just why? Like I
don't know.
honestly, I would have been fine if it was Rabbids, XCOM, and I would have been perfectly fine with it.
That was
But adding
acceptable.
Mario just seems like a really weird thing to have. Like it was just like, okay, cool, I guess.
There's your Switch game. They're trying to draw you in.
Like it's not. It didn't feel funny. It wasn't funny to me to see flipping like one of the Rapids dress up as Peach. Like that wasn't funny. It just kind of like felt like Minions kind of bullshit. And you remind me anything of the Minions, you've ruined it for me in every way.
Yep.
So I don't care. I almost forgot about that. But another thing that came out was the new Kirby game. Looks great.
Yeah.
It's another Kirby game. That's all I get at. Looks very co-op-y. Had like 3 or 4 you could play with, so that's pretty exciting. So we'll see how everything goes with that. I don't have any more information. I didn't really watch much about it. I could tell from the trailer. I was like, it's very.
I mean,
it's Kirby.
It's a Kirby game.
It's a Kirby game.
So.
It's not really much changed. Anyways, so Ubisoft. Moving back on the Ubisoft as we just were talking about it. So it recently got announced Assassin's Creed Origins. It's a new game. It's based in Egypt instead. It's supposed to be focusing on how the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood started. It's really interesting. I forgot the name of the person that's supposed to be the guy. It's Ubek or something of that nature. Something weirdly and vaguely Egyptian. There are interesting changes that has to do with that. I think it's instead of like the eagle vision, he has a hawk that kind of just flies around and like looks upon places and does things like that, as if like the eagle high hasn't really been like implemented yet.
The origins of
Yeah,
it, so they
so
haven't discovered that technique.
It made
yet.
sense to do something like that.
be
They're also
different.
kind of the means of synchronizing for the whole map, because it doesn't seem like you go through the whole like kind of situation. I don't know. I didn't see it.
I want to like this game. I really do.
I really
Like,
want this game to thrive.
We're overdue for a good Assassin's Creed.
What
game.
I did
I'm
learn,
sorry.
what I did learn recently afterwards, that they will not have a PvP mode in there, which I
Okay.
kind of pretty happy about.
I'm
actually.
okay with that.
Which it's funny because the last couple Assassin's Creed games, I like the multiplayer better than the actual story. And that's saying a lot. Oh, except for Unity, and just Unity doesn't count. Unity sucks in every way.
Yeah. Like I said, we're overdue
But
for a good
I mean, it was just so like, I'm kind of happy that it seems like they're gonna be having more enhancing like features with the single player. So
one. They revamped the combat system.
the combat system is very different. Instead of like your typical like everyone just sits there and just kind of like, is it my turn yet kind of situation. Now it feels more like everything's going to try to attack you at once. You have to like pay attention to what you're doing. Again, feels very Dark Souls kind of situation.
It feels less like a scripted kung fu movie.
Yeah, as you can see, you can tell Dark Souls and Bloodborne has become more of a inspiration for a lot of these action games, just because it's a good solid system. It's a good solid system, and feels very realistic and actually feels challenged. I don't remember much else about Assassin's Creed, but we'll know. We'll see. I don't know. I'm probably not going to buy it. I'll rent it and see how it is.
I'll see how it does.
I don't know if it's worth me buying. I want to like it.
Like that's what I've felt about the past couple of Assassin's Creed games, and I've always been let down. Like I'm not even.
I just want it to be good. That's all I want. I love Assassin's Creed. I want it to be good. There's Far Cry 5. Don't care. Not gonna lie, really don't care. I've been over Far Cry since Far Cry 3.
Yeah,
a little bit. I played. Well, did I play 4? Yes, I played 4, so I guess I can't be that over it. I played 4 a little bit, but Far Cry 3 was like pretty much the last one I really got into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. It's very American. Apparently, it's like super like America kind of situation.
America.
I don't know. I just don't care. That's just whatever.
Yeah. To me, I was just like, my first reaction was like, another one.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Ubisoft's releasing Rayman Legends on the Switch. Great game.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be great.
The definitive.
They're also releasing Steep on Switch for the Switch, which I guess I don't know. Steep's okay. I don't think it's that great.
Yeah,
I think
it looks good. But
if you're a person that like watches like X Games on a constant basis and wishes you can do half the things, I guess that's good for you.
Or if you live in Florida.
Yeah.
And you don't see snow ever.
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay when I played the beta for a long time, but I just afterwards I kind of just remembered that if I had friends that was playing with me, I would be totally okay with it. But it's a game that you don't want to play without friends. It's just simple as that, or without a lot of people to talk to. You got new South Park. You got the new South Park game that's coming out after the Stick of Truth. And then you have also their mobile game that doesn't matter. But Fracture But Whole. Don't know anything about it.
It's basically a spin-off of like, you know how the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it seems like a parody off of that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And basically, like, it starts off they're trying to make their own superhero universe by making these movies or whatever, and then they start arguing, and they're like, "No, we're not supposed to have Civil War until Phase 3."
Oh my god!
And then
that
they start
hilarious.
off. And so basically you create your own character who's interacting with the South Park characters who, you know, you choose your different types of your power set and stuff.
That sounds
and then
really
obviously
fun.
you're going to choose a side who to side with. And
that sounds really fun because I really like Stick of Truth. I never got to like, I don't own the game, but I definitely got to play it at somebody else's place. And I really, really like Stick of Truth.
And it stays true to Stick of Truth, but then imagine with, you know, their version of like the superheroes and stuff, like the Coon and all that. It looks great.
That's
I would
awesome.
definitely
I can't
pick
wait.
Up this game.
I can't wait. I'm pretty excited about
hilarious.
it. They announced Crew 2. No one cares. and probably the most important was Beyond Good and Evil 2, which is a prequel to the first one, which I always find weird. I always find interesting. They made it 2, but it's a prequel. Whatever. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs in it that has to do with the original Beyond Good and Evil. I can't go through any of them because I can't remember it. I'm actually planning to go back and replay the first one on my Xbox. Looks amazing. Looks so good. They said that the actual like cutscenes and that trailer is very detrimental to what actually happens in the game. So I was like super excited about that. I really like the characters look really fun. The Cockney like monkey and the girl, like it was kind of really funny. I think the only thing that kind of turned me off about it is the amount of profanity in it, surprisingly enough. Like it just felt like a little much. Like it was like I didn't mind the profanity, but it was just kind of like compared to like Beyond Good and Evil, the first one, it just which was literally none. It just kind of seemed weird that like this was just going over the top with it.
We're just gonna throw it in there, you know?
And it was like, and I understand it's like a Cockney guy, but like it just seemed a little weird. Yeah, I don't know. I just whatever. You got, and then moving on, we're gonna go towards EA's stuff, which a lot of stuff that came out of EA is more important to me because it came out during the Xbox One. First off, I usually go with like the best part of it now, but this is more important to talk about. Anthem. Yes. Holy shit.
Good God, it looks so beautiful.
Oh my God, it looks so good.
I'll play it right now.
My only complaints was probably the beginning acting in that. Like it was really weird.
Yeah.
Little too off for me. I guess it's just because I've seen so much that I just like whatever. I thought the voice acting was great. It just seemed like the face animation and how they were doing stuff was even a little stoic, but it looked really fun. I really love how it looks. People are just gonna call it a Destiny clone. I don't like calling things clones.
I don't know. It doesn't.
Calling things a clone just seems like a cop out. Like you're not seeing like what it is. Like if that was a clone, then we should call like half the games that came out in actions like, oh, they're just trying to copy off Dark Souls here. But like
Spider-Man, the Batman story.
Yeah, I don't really care. Yeah, I was gonna say is like here, Arkham Spider-Man. Like I don't really care about that. I just care about seeing something, how you take a good mechanic and make it work for you. And it looks great. It looks great to have a cool ass robot exosuit
and you choose
and go around flying and do different shit, especially since how different it is, and your exosuit is very personal. You can like customize it and do whatever you want with it. You play different, you have different roles and how you do things with it. You can have a mortar or a fucking salvo of rockets kind of situation. There's underwater like play, which I really hope is good because
that looks beautiful. That sign where
it looks so good. And I'm like, I really hope that's good because underwater has always been a little bit wonky for a lot of games. It looks so great. The enemies look really interesting. The story plot behind it seems like pretty solid, and it's BioWare. I cannot stress this is BioWare. Like people tell me it's like, but it's a Destiny clone, but it's fucking BioWare. Like
so they know the writing is gonna be there.
I am sorry, but I always will be behind BioWare in every way. I don't even care.
You know their narratives are just
like
phenomenal.
I will play it just because of the narrative alone. Like I'm not gonna care, especially since the original writers / creators of the Mass Effect trilogy. Yes. So for me, nothing else. There's no losing out of this. So I really hope that is going to be. We got time to see how it's going to go from here, since it's not going to come out till
launch. So.
Yeah, I think it's not coming out until 2018.
Yep.
This will be the game I decided that I'd rather just pick up on PC. Just because I really want to see it in its full view. Like I think having something like on my Xbox seems kind of weird. I also want to like have a change of people to play with, especially since I have Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is going to end up on my Xbox anyways, so I already pre-ordered for it, so it's whatever. So Anthem's definitely going to be on PC. Can't wait. I know we're going to be playing together a lot on
definitely. That. Be jumping all over.
So and Willoughby probably. Yep. So there's that. The Star Wars Battlefront 2 looked awesome.
Yes.
Also amazing. Has definitely a campaign in it, but that's not what they showed. They were showing a lot of the multiplayer stuff. They showed an original Star Wars Battlefront map. One of the early ones. I forgot which one it was called. It was from the prequels. Shit.
Was it the Naboo battle? Or?
I think it's Naboo battle. I want to say it's Naboo battle, but they did like the first thing you see in the trailer is actually like you don't think about it at first, but it is one of the original Battlefront games.
It was from Battlefront.
Yeah, it's one of the original Battlefront
old
ones. So that was really cool. They brought a map back. There's really cool like things how it goes. They're apparently changing a little bit of mechanics, especially with the heroes, especially since apparently the heroes don't kill people like up front. I think like it takes a couple shots instead of just like one go kind of situation. I don't know.
I depends.
I didn't really get too hard in it just because it looks real good. Like that's all I really cared about.
Apparently, stay true to that cinematic.
There's a lot of things they got rid of. They're staying true to what they did before, where it's just all free DLC. They're not doing season pass or anything of that nature.
Yeah, because the first game,
the first game they had a season pass, and then they stopped doing that. They kind of went away with it. Which is really cool that they're going away with it. I think they're getting rid of the card system as well.
That's a good direction.
Yeah, I think they're getting rid of the card system as well. So I'll be pretty happy with that because I didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
I really liked the first Battlefront. I think it was fun.
It was fun.
I still play it. I still play it every once in a while just to play like the new heroes I get to play. Because I was stupid enough to buy the stupid
I bought the
super deluxe edition.
Yeah, I did that. I got the ultimate, definitive, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Bullshit edition.
$100.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that was really great.
And also, they're adding a campaign, so that's actually cool.
Yeah, I wonder how the campaign's
it looks interesting. It looks like the story takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
So you
have fun to believe that it's probably after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, your character, or the story that's following, at least your basically you receive a message from the Emperor as a last final order, and this is before he dies.
Oh.
And so I've wondered it's going to just take place in that mission.
I'd be surprised it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And also the fact that, the battles outside of story, in multiplayer are going to be, the 3 generations in Star Wars. So you got the prequels, the originals, and the new film, the new trilogy.
Yes. I did see that.
Because you can play as a clone trooper. I saw in one of the things, like, someone playing as Rey battling, first generation like battle droids, and I'm like,
that's weird.
What are they mix and matching? So you could actually say who would win in a fight between, clones and stormtroopers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I kind of pick stormtroopers in every way, but it's just.
I don't know. Clones had better accuracy.
Yeah.
I mean, because the 501st lasted a lot longer.
Yeah,
even in the Empire.
Yeah, they did.
They're the only pure clones.
Oh no, I'm pretty excited for this. We'll see how that goes. Another one was called A Way Out, which looks great. It's a game that was made by the same creators as the people that made A Tale of Two Brothers. Mm-hmm. It's a great game. That's an amazing game. Very very localized on co-op, and so is this one, where you and your brother escape prison, and kind of is like, it's essentially a better version of Prison Break, the game, essentially, because it's essentially like just the two brothers that just get out of prison and you try to figure out what they're doing. The co-op is very detrimental in this. I think it's either local or the other way.
Cool
they purposely have it split screen so that you always see what your brother's doing. You always kind of have that situation what your brother's doing kind of situation. I think they do that on purpose because that's the whole point in the terms of co-op. We'll see how that goes. It looked good. Kind of was the only thing I really cared about. There was a couple of that was in there. You had new Madden, new NBA Live, which I think that's the new one since 2 years ago.
Yeah,
new FIFA for Switch, and Need for Speed, which, Jesus Christ, they don't have enough Need for Speeds, do they? Next was Bethesda. Very underwhelming.
Well, there was the one game.
Two. It was Wolfenstein and Evil Within 2.
Yeah,
I liked Evil Within.
Evil Within kind of snuck up.
I didn't expect it to be good.
Wolfenstein, I was surprised.
Wolfenstein
was
so
oh my god, they're bringing it back.
It's so good, so good. So I'm super excited. Wolfenstein 2 is coming back. Then they were talking about Skyrim in the Switch. Woo.
Which that was already announced when the Switch was launched.
What the biggest thing they were releasing was all the VR shit they were coming out with.
Yeah.
Doom VR, Fallout 4 VR, Skyrim VR, which, yet again, I don't care. Why? Why in VR?
Oh, man. Don't you just want to buy a Vive?
can I just get one VR game that seems like original, that actually makes sense to the VR, and not just something that's like, hey, look at your favorite game that you always had. Let's put this in VR. It looks so much better, right?
I did like the Rick and Morty VR game.
Well, yeah, but
that one was
that's
cool.
not a. But that's one of those situations where it's not an original. That's an actual original game made for the VR. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's,
not like
that's what I'm saying.
It's not
We
like a
need more-
port. Like Rick and Morty looks pretty fun. Like
Yeah.
But
I
I
still
don't know.
want them to develop that Star Wars game, but I don't know what's going on with that.
Good luck with that.
And you can still play the demo, but I think they're abandoning it.
Who knows? But yeah, that was pretty much it. Like Wolfenstein 2, Evil Within 2. They don't have any other information. I guess they're kind of like a lot like EA and trying to keeps everything tight-lipped.
Well, yeah, Bethesda's always done that. That's their go-to. Like,
Yeah.
when are we gonna get Elder Scrolls 6? Probably about a decade, but
Yeah, I mean, they were already saying that like it's probably not gonna happen anytime soon. So
Well, they love making you wait.
yeah, they were basically saying like, nah, you ain't getting it anytime soon.
Every
can
5
wait.
years or
Like
longer.
whatever, you got other games. That's it. I was like,
It's like, yeah, you're still playing modded Morrowind, so
yeah. Or you're playing Morrowind on ESO. So who
oh
knows?
yeah, I don't
Which
care
I
no.
fucking ESO. I don't understand why people like it. So after that, there was Activision, which I don't think they had much stuff on their own stuff. Most of it was just on other places. You had Call of Duty World War II, which I was pretty excited for.
Actually, yeah, I am. I'm going back
really-
to the roots.
I really like it. Going back to the roots, really like the action, the story plot, the campaign looks pretty intense. From Normandy all the way through a couple other places in there. I don't think there's much else they can really talk about. It's fucking Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's Call of Duty.
They announced that
Everything.
they're doing time exclusives with PlayStation first, obviously, because that's what happens. It's the same with that. Activision does that all the time now. They have this special like Nick to do time exclusive stuff or like special exclusive things with just PlayStation. So they're getting beta first and then Xbox is afterwards. We'll see. I might pre-order it. I don't know. And then Destiny 2, they showed new footage of it, the Homecoming trailer, which was it Homecoming trailer? Yes, the Homecoming trailer, which is just showing off a little bit more on a little bit more gameplay, a little bit more about a couple of one of the classes. Hunter getting a switch and one of his subclass that are being like the Blade Strike kind of situation. He gets what is called Arc Strider, which he gets a giant fucking staff, which really looks really cool. We'll see how that goes. It looks great. I can't wait. I already pre-ordered it. Their fucking demo, their fucking beta comes out July, so I'll be definitely going through that. It gives me about 4 days worth of play because I pre-ordered it. So we'll see how that 4 or 5 days. So I'll definitely be playing that pretty hard. I'm going through right now on Destiny 1, kind of finish off all the last getting things before before Destiny 2 comes out, and I get to forget about Destiny 1 because they're like, just once you start Destiny 2, consider all of this forgotten because you get to start over.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever.
If only they had a rewards program.
Yeah. I guess there was that. That's the only thing they really showed off for Activision. I guess that's for them. That's all that matters, right?
True.
And that's honestly pretty much it that they showed off. Like, there could be a couple things we could talk about. There was Call of Cthulhu, which was really interesting.
Interesting. Well, because there was an older Call of Cthulhu, and I don't know if this is a remake or just a revamp of the series.
I don't know. I didn't even know.
But it looks good, like a very investigative, like, because mostly you're gonna think, oh, it's just another horror game. But it looks more like like it starts off, you're an investigator. Like, and then it starts going from like an investigation / puzzler to, oh, what have I walked into?
Yeah.
What is this shit?
There was Vampire, which I don't know much about. It's another action adventure game, I want to say, or something of that nature. Can't remember. Whatever. They had more information about Sonic Forces.
Yes.
And Sonic Mania. Mostly like a lot more like definites of like they have a release date for Sonic Mania. I think they already did anyways.
Yeah, Mania is coming out in August. I already pre-ordered.
I gotta pre-order my version. I
might get two.
Let's see. Oh god.
There's Middle
Sonic
Earth.
Forces. They put out some big information about. Like they put out gameplay with all three ways of playing,
And
like Sonic, classic Sonic, and also the character that you can create.
Which that's going to be interesting.
That's going to be great. I like the idea to get to create it. I mean, it's not like I didn't like go through every Avatar creator and made my own Sonic character.
Yeah.
or some people make whole stories. We don't know, whatever.
Yep.
I don't remember. Was Borderlands 3 like announced?
I don't know, but I mean, I would like to see more in Borderlands 3 because I like the previous two.
I don't remember it. I'll have to go back to that because I don't remember if it was announced or not.
I don't know. I mean,
I would like that to be true, but
I wish it's got any, but I do know Middle Earth: Shadow of War.
That's coming out. That is what I forgot.
Year,
I forgot about that. That I'm so excited. Loved the first one.
The first one was phenomenal.
I love Shadow of Mordor. I thought it was so good. It was so interesting for me to play this disdained terrorist, and now that now you're getting the second one, like. Holy crap, the Nemesis system is like super like expanded. There's so much more you could do with it, and like a lot of different ways it works. Like your allies that you actually like grab in your ranks kind of seem more friendly, have more personality. Like they're not just one character kind of situation, which is really cool. Then you get to fucking ride a dragon. I mean, what more?
Yeah, I mean, come on, riding dragons is always cool.
What the fuck more do you want? We got Ages of Mayhem. That was announced.
Mm-hmm.
That seemed interesting. That's all I had. I don't know much about it. There wasn't anything else they talked about. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it in all of E3. So, in the limelight of all of that, how do you think E3 2017 did this year?
Yeah. Also, do you think all of the announcements are gonna actually follow up to the hype? Because in the past, like E3s, we get all hyped up. You get the game finally. You've been waiting for like a year or so, and then you're like,
I think this is why a lot of conferences was delving away from releasing new IPs and new like games like in these announcements, just because most of these announcements are either stuff we already knew or stuff we were assuming was going to happen anyways.
Yeah,
like we knew that Destiny 2 was coming out. We knew about Lost Legacy. We knew about God of War. We knew about Spider-Man. We knew about all these things. They were just basically like showing you more of what's happening and basically release dates for him. So I think that's what they're trying to get away from, because they already know that's what they did last year. They did that last year. They had all of these out there, and like I think half of the things that PS4 like announced got delayed within like months afterwards. So I think they're trying to play. I think this has been the most safe E3.
Yeah, I would say they did play it very safe. Like
I feel like
developer.
I feel like opposite to Xbox, they played it safe. Because all I got out of Xbox was just the fact that they pushed the console really hard. Yeah. But other than that, the game releases was still pretty like stoic. Like this is all things we already knew.
It's here.
Like, hey, this is happening. It's going to happen. This is releasing soon, kind of situation. So I feel like, I kind of go with the route that E3 this is a very safe E3. Everyone just saying, hey, we're not super here trying to get all the hype out of there. We're just trying to make sure that we're not fucking you over.
Like we've done in the past.
Like, I mean, I know, like, look, I know that things don't come out and shit happens. I mean, Metal Gear Survive just recently got delayed.
Yeah.
Woo. I'm so excited. But I mean, even then, like it's just kind of like I've gotten to a point where I'm more appreciative of this E3 than most of them, because then I can feel a little bit more safe. I feel more secure about all the announcements they have, and there's a lot more games I'm more excited about. It's funny how they played it safe, but they made me more hyped up for games I didn't expect to be hyped for about. Like at first, I didn't give a shit about God of War. I was done after 3 just because of the fact I was just kind of tired out from it.
Trilogy,
Like it was more so I was just tired of it, and like I thought the story was done.
Like,
but
it's done.
But the fact that they released new stuff, they were going about the fact that this is his son kind of situation, and more of the story plot and how he plays into it, how his personality is. I thought that was something that was like, okay, I can get curious about this. I want to know what Kratos is like after all of the anger has
Yeah,
dissipated
after
at this
his
point.
vengeance is
Like
sated.
he looks so tired in this game. Like he looks
Yeah.
so expended, and that is so cool that they were able to put that out there. And I'll be super interested to see how that's going to be. I'm so excited. I was always really scared of Spider-Man, which
Yeah, because
I'm
they
so
haven't done a
glad-
good game in so long.
yeah, I was scared about Spider-Man just because we didn't know whether it was going to be a movie tie-in or whether it was going to be like another like weird thing they were going to do with like Shattered Dimensions or anything of that nature. But I'm so glad that they decided this is going to be a standalone thing. They have a solid battle system that they're using and a lot of cool, interesting ways and good writing. That's all I got out of it.
Yeah,
So Insomniac Games, yes.
yeah,
I'm pretty excited for you guys.
like
Yeah, just a lot of solid like stuff. Like nothing like wowing, but like very solid, safe play.
I don't know. Anthem was
Anthem,
pretty wowing.
Okay,
now.
so I will say this. Out of all the things that really wowed me was probably Anthem, surprisingly Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and Super Mario Odyssey. That was like the three that really like kind of like
the wow factor.
blew my mind a little bit. Like I didn't know anything about Anthem before then, which was kind of really like blew my mind. Fighter Z I wasn't even expecting.
That one I was just like another
that was
Dragon Ball game.
Like I didn't even know that was happening. I thought it was like if I was gonna hear Dragon Ball, I was like, oh, they're gonna do Xenoverse 3, and I was like, cool,
Yeah.
that's great, I guess.
Whatever.
I mean,
Man,
Xenoverse 2 is
it's the
great.
same thing as the
I
other
was like, I don't know if I
ones,
want to go through another one,
just
and then
shinier.
it was like, oh no, this is not what it is. And I was like, oh my god, this looks like the anime. What is happening?
What?
Wait, this is 2D. Wait, that looks like Guilty Gear. Please don't tell me the people from Guilty Gear did it. And all I saw was Arc Systems. Like, oh my god, this is so
Yep.
cool. So that was really cool. I heard about Super Mario. I actually did hear about Super
saw
Mario
it,
Odyssey. I
yeah.
did hear about.
They announced it at the Switch.
They announced it
the
as
Switch
Switch
launched.
stuff. Yeah, but I didn't expect it to be like that. Like,
Yeah.
I saw that they were like doing certain stuff, and I was like, oh, that looks weird. And then I realized what they were doing. I was like, whoa, that is cool. That is a cool concept for this, and it feels
Very
like
innovative.
and it feels like you're bringing something new to the game. And as much as I hate the nostalgia feel, as long as you bring something good, something different to the game that make you feel. I completely forgot about another thing that I was really excited about, and it showed up on the Xbox. It's Ori. You ever played Ori of the Forest?
Blind
So
Forest?
they're doing a
Yes.
new one called
What?
Ori Will of the Forest.
What?
Will of the Wisp. I am sorry. It's called Will of the Wisp. It was one of the most beautiful flippin' trailers ever. It was like
my
your
God.
typical like beautiful soldiery kind of like music that from the first score, which is one of my favorite scores of all time. It was one of my favorite games all of 2016. And what I gather out of it is that, oh my god, it looks so sad. What I gather out of it is what happens is a lot of shit happens in the forest. And the owl, you know, the owl at the end. I don't know if you finished it, but like,
Yeah.
So the owl at the end that was trying to fight for stuff for egg and thought it was dead. There's a small owl that shows up in there, and the wisp comes by to hug him as they see two owls. As they see two owls in the distance, all dead, and there's like shitloads of owls like everywhere that like are all dead. It was so emotional.
Oh, God.
I completely forgot about this game, and I'm so sad that I forgot about it because I was super excited that this is coming out. They already have a release date for it. It's coming out in the fall, and oh my god, I love the game too much, and I want it, and I'm so glad. There was again another thing I didn't expect to have another one of. I didn't know they were playing the second one. I thought that was it.
I thought Ori was just gonna be a standalone.
Yeah, I thought it was just a standalone game, and they definitely wowed me on that one. That fucking amazing. I can't wait. You have to watch the trailer later because it was so good. The music, I almost cried.
You're gonna catch them feels, man. You're gonna catch them feels.
Oh my god, it was so emotional. I was just sitting, I was like, no, no. So that was great. It's called Ori Will of the Wisps. That's what I remember now. Yeah, but that's probably the 4 for me. That's probably the 4 that I was really excited about. And that's like not including the things I already pre-ordered or I'm just gonna play anyways. Like I'm going to get Destiny 2. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's a thing me and my Xbox friends play a lot of. So it's not like it's not gonna happen. But other than that, pretty solid E3. I can't say anything.
Yeah,
I can't say anything really bad about it. I can only say things I didn't give a shit about, but but it's just because of personal preference. It wasn't because I thought the game was going to be bad.
It's what other people like. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's.
I mean, there's
solid.
going to be people playing probably Madden 18 with whatever the hell,
And
19
you
or
got
19.
whatever. No, it's 18. It's 18.
It's 18, and then it's got like a long shot story mode or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know what the
whatever.
fucking.
And then you got your Far Cry fans. Which,
Yeah, you got Far Cry fans. People are really into it. I'm not. I can't. I just can't be. I know Far Cry is a pretty solid game. I just can't do it.
I haven't played since 3, but yeah.
I know people are going to be really excited about some of these games coming out from the PlayStation. Quite a bit. God of War. Everyone's going to be super excited about God of War.
Yeah.
I mean, I might buy it. I honestly and truly, I might buy it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about picking that up.
Picking up a PS4 just for it.
Yeah, because I know I've been on PC for this generation.
You're gonna get the Pro because you know
I'm
that.
Probably gonna go for the Pro.
I think it's like $350 now, so it's like no.
Yeah, Pro has dropped down, so I may just pick up a Pro.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wait just in time for like Spider-Man release because that's the one I really like. I love God of War, but that Spider-Man though.
Well, Spider-Man's coming close in the fall. I mean, they're around the same time.
Yeah, I'll probably pick up both.
Yeah,
both.
Yeah. Pro's gotten super cheaper now, and now it's like the updates made it so it does what it's supposed to do. So
yeah,
we'll see. Obviously, I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get an Xbox One X anytime soon. XOXO.
Yeah, hugs and kisses. That's what I'm gonna call it from now
on. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I don't know if I can do 500. I don't see that.
Yeah, that's a pretty steep
I want
price
to.
for
I
an
really
upgrade.
want to replace my original Xbox. So it feels a lot like how they did with the original Xbox, where it's just like, oh man, we're not doing production of this anymore, and they don't produce my Xbox One anymore. They only produce the Xbox One S. So, which kind of makes me mad because there's a lot of things they've made a lot better in it, and it's kind of weird that they did that because, that's the other thing I don't know if I really care enough about the Xbox One X is because the Xbox One S already does 4K.
Yeah.
So
it has the capabilities.
When they're screaming about 4K all the time, I just find it weird. I find it was more interesting if you would have just said like, hey, there's a lot of cool features going to come around in there. Like there was a lot of stuff they talked about that were kind of more important. Like along with Xbox One X, they're going to work on getting original Xbox game out, which I was like, at first I was like, I guess. And then I was like, then I thought of two games. One they mentioned, and the other I was like, I wouldn't mind playing again. One was Indigo Prophecy / Fahrenheit.
Yes.
I would love to play that again for some reason. And then Crimson Skies. That was another one I didn't think about until then. And then I thought of another one right after that, which is Jade Empire, which I would be fucking
Jade Empire
murdering someone if I didn't get a chance to play that again.
I picked that up on PC.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, I gotta pick it up on PC sometime.
Yeah, but it is through Origin, so it's like,
I know that's why it angers me
because Origin's exclusive.
Jesus,
it's because it is the PC version. It's not Xbox. PC version, because they ported it from the Xbox.
Yeah.
And then they added extra.
Yeah, they put some stuff into it.
Special edition.
Yeah, that's why I gotta play it because I feel like I'll get at least a little bit of different experience.
They add a few more combat styles, and like a poison fist type thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because it was something that was in the arena that only an NPC can use, and I'm like, meh.
I guess I would do that. It seems a little off for my character to do that, especially since it's like either like open palm, I'm free with the wind, I don't hurt anyone, or like
closed fist, I will punch your babies.
Yeah, I will hurt you in every way.
There's no in between.
And your personality was very much tied to that styling style.
And the world.
Yeah, and the world. Is like either you spend a lot of time whooping the shit out of each other, or you spend a lot of time like you're like, no, sit down,
calm down.
We'll see. Yeah, there was just a couple of stuff in there, but other than that, pretty excited for the year in terms of games. It's pretty solid. I guess I can feel like I'm not gonna waste my money because I felt like last year I kind of been a little bit wasty on it. And
yeah.
I haven't really had a couple of games where I was just like, oh yeah. That's kind of why I'm glad I have a GameFly account, because there was a bunch of games I played and I was just like, man, I couldn't keep this. Like I can't keep it. I need something better. I need something that like doesn't just give me a gimmick and just go with it kind of situation. But some of these I'm pretty excited. I'm so excited that a lot of these games are not like super like elongated open world games, and that's kind of where I'm at the most, is that not all of them are super open world. If they are, it's more of a games of service like Anthem. So it's very geared
and
towards
also you have someone with
party.
you, so
yeah, it's very geared towards having a party. That's a weird thing about a lot of these games, except for I guess there's a couple of like your single player stuff, but like there's a lot of games that's like based on like you need to play this with a party, that kind of situation. And if it's not, it's usually action and adventure like Lost Legacy or Spider-Man, or God of War. So I'm pretty excited to see what comes up from here, and pretty excited to see a price drop on the Xbox One X within the next 6 months.
Good luck waiting.
I just don't see that selling pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. But other than that, so that's all the things we got on E3. Hopefully, we'll hear some more stuff that'll be interesting along the couple of weeks or the months on video games. Maybe some point we'll do a stream, start talking about some other stuff that been happening recently. I know recently we've been playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which is getting an Xbox One port.
Yeah,
exclusively,
I know. Like, wow,
which is really interesting.
How's that gonna work?
I don't know. I don't know. It's like Arc for me. Okay, it's really weird.
Does their controllers have enough buttons for that?
I mean, PlayerUnknown's a little bit better, but fucking Arc.
Yeah, Arc. You gotta have keyboard.
I played Arc on there. It's awful. I mean, it's fun, but it's just why.
I mean, if you don't have a good PC and you happen to have an Xbox One,
but then again, you can always just put your keyboard and mouse in there if you wanted to.
Yeah, you can.
It doesn't change anything.
So it's still fine.
Yeah. Yeah. PlayerUnknown's has like over 3 million people playing it. Like 3 million people bought it. Let me specify that. So they are doing very well. So yeah. And it's in alpha. So I mean, we'll see how
it's still early access.
Still early access on Steam, but it's really fun. Such a simple idea for Battle Royale, and it's surprisingly one of the funnest games I'll play.
I heard talks that they're going to add mechanics like you could dive through windows now, like in a next.
Oh my god, like
update.
Friday the 13th. Oh man, now I'm thinking about it, we should totally play Friday the 13th.
Oh, yes.
And that's also going to the console soon.
Oh yeah, they are doing that. Yeah.
But that looks fun. I haven't played it yet. People just treat it. A lot of people treat it as a Dead by Daylight clone, which I can understand. I've seen the gameplay, but I haven't. Both games I haven't played, so
it still looks fun.
But it looks different. But they say that, but it looks really different. Like it's a different type of way you play it. So I
mean, I was just wondering if they still catch that the essence of the Friday the 13th movies,
a little bit,
like the early movies, and probably that
a little bit. One. It's more like the first. As far as I've watched,
the first three.
I watch like Achieve 100 play a lot, and their streams, and it seems like it feels more like the first one because the only way you can kill Jason is based off how the first one was.
Oh, no, that's the second one.
Second one, sorry.
Because the first one was actually not Jason; it was his mother.
Sorry.
It's the second one.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of the second one in terms of how you kill him because you got the mother sweater, blah blah blah. You see his house, kind of thing. Yeah. There's the feel of how I love the way they trick how they do the he shows up everywhere, but he's walking all the time.
Yeah,
he just teleports. Instead.
Yeah,
I think it makes sense.
Wait, that's how he does it?
Yeah, I mean that's how we believed it. Yeah, you hear the sound. Yeah, the sound's there. There. It's good sound design. That's all I got out of it. There's really cool ways of how they do the characters. You can dive through windows, but it kind of puts you in a blind spot, a spot. The way you escape is really the various ways you can fucking die. Jesus Christ.
So it does stay true to the.
Oh yeah,
film.
It feels pretty true to the film.
That's good because I want that feel.
Yeah, it's kind of really funny. They have this mechanic where if you can call for Tommy. Is what I want to say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tommy. You call him if you die. If you're the first one to die, he comes back and you got this giant shotgun. That doesn't keep you safe.
No, it doesn't.
I mean,
just
you have a shotgun unless you do the right thing and work your way of either killing him or escaping. But it's hard. Still... You can't even escape from a fucking you can't even run him over. You can run your teammates over, which I've seen happen. They'll just be like, "Fuck you!"
Start panicking and just run.
Oh my god! One of the Let's Play ones they were doing, and the car. And the first thing he does when he first it off, he just drives off and runs over two of them, and he just runs into a fucking fence in front of him. It was so fun to watch. But we'll see. I want to get it and get a couple people want to play that online. I think it would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Because especially since I think it's 6 people you play with, one being Jason.
Yep, and 5.
Yeah.
Survivors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Victims.
Yeah. I have yet to watch one where all of them has lived, so at least one dies. But yeah, other than that was E3 2017. But until next time, we'll see you later.
Later.
Bye.